I'm your host, not for possession, Narcissa Deville, and welcome to hell. Oh, bitch, this episode. Okay, so I really wasn't sure what to expect with this episode. The challenge... Okay, let me just get into it. I'm trying to get ahead of myself a little bit. I really wasn't sure what to expect with this episode, but I have to say, I kind of liked it. It was not that bad. Okay, so at first we had a little mini challenge, which was called Sitting on a Secret, in which the queens had to sit on various objects and try and figure out what they were. Now, I have to say, overall, I feel like this little challenge went on a little too long for my liking. Like, I get what they were going for, but I just feel like it was a little bit dragged out. They had a lot of different items. Like, the first item was a fax machine, which, like, literally only Asia got. And then there was an eggplant, which a few of them got. There was cake. There were chips. There was a traffic cone. Like, it's a really weird idea, and I get what they were going for, I guess, but honestly, like, as far as the mini challenge goes, I feel like it was not their strongest, and it just came off kind of like just a random excuse to have a mini challenge that has nothing to do with anything, and the winner didn't really make a difference to anything. So, like, what was the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, Asia O'Hara won that, and congratulations to her, but it really didn't end up mean anything to the rest of the competition and the rest of the episode. Like, she didn't get to choose anything special, so, like, she just won it for bragging rights, I guess. Like, I don't even think she won anything specific with it. It was very obvious that Asia was going to win because she obviously did the best in this. She guessed the most amount of things, so congratulations on her. Her butt can guess a lot of things. That sounds really weird. The main challenge this week... Why did I do that? The main challenge this week, however, was creating a panel for DragCon, and they got to choose their own groups of 3, and there were 3 panels: body, face, and wigs. So the groups that came together were Monet, Eureka, and Cameron, who did body; Blair, the Vixen, and Cracker, who did wigs; and Asia, Monique, and Aquaria, who did face. And the challenge was, you had to come up with a panel, you had to come up with a Q&A, and you had to come up with a live presentation, like an example of what you're talking about. That had to be done in front of DragCon fans who were each going to rate each panel and each queen individually. So it was kind of like that added drama. And of course, the first up was Eureka, Cameron, and Monet. I thought they were very, very funny and educational. Originally, like, when it first started, I was like, I don't know if I get this. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I had a lot of mixed feelings about them at first. Like, they seemed very, very funny, and they were making Ru laugh a lot. But it just, at first, I was like, okay, it's a little more educational than it is funny. But then they started to get it together, and by the time they did their body example on Bryce, the pit crew member, it ended up being really, really funny and really, really good, and so I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park. Then, of course, there was Monique, Asia, and Aquaria. And honestly, right off the bat, I found them hilarious because Monique was their moderator. Monique is always hilarious. I think she's so good at what she does. She was so good in this challenge. She killed it. But then when it came to the demo for face, they ended up kind of losing it because Asia was trying to show how to put on a lash. And then while she was putting it together, Aquaria was showing how to put on a sparkle lip. And then Asia was showing how to do her thing. And it was just kind of like a really bad... I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to, like, limit the amount of, like, dead air, which is great. But unfortunately, it just came off kind of, like, confusing. And so I was like, ooh, I feel like they're going to lose some points for that. Because it was like, it's too much going on. And then last but not least was Cameron, Monet, and... Oh, excuse me, I said that wrong. last but not least was Blair, Vixen, and Cracker. And I found Cracker to be extremely funny, as always. But overall, the whole thing was just very uncomfortable. All the queens were speaking over each other. You really weren't learning anything from it. Like, it seemed like they had a lot of information in theory, but they weren't actually explaining it to people. So it was just kind of like, it didn't make sense. And then when they were asked a question, they didn't fully answer the question. Like, it had moments where it was cute, but for the most part, it was just very, like, all over the place. They were speaking over each other. There was a lot of shade, which would be great, but it wasn't, like, good shade. It was just kind of like, like, shade that just kind of crashed and burned. I absolutely love Mama Ru's look. I love how it's like metallic fabric, which looks really, really pretty. It's purple. It looks gorgeous on her. Her whole look is purple, which of course you have to love. I think Ru always looks stunning and gorgeous. I can never say anything, mostly never say anything negative about, I can't say I can never say anything negative. For the most part, I can never say anything negative about her looks because I think she's absolutely stunning. Look, we have Miss Hameron Michaels giving you all kinds of galaxy, kind of like, it's a bodysuit, or it's a cat suit, girl. Like, let's be real. It's a cat suit with purple and silver, and it's got a cape, which I love. But the hat is really the interesting thing about this. And the hat is very, like, giving you full planet realness. She's got, like, rings that come down and go across her head. It looks very, very sickening and very, very interesting. I have to give it up to Hameron. This is a really unique look, and it looks so cool. Next up, we have Miss Monet Exchange, and oh my god, this pattern is so hideously gorgeous. I can't even stand it. The hat, it just, I get Weezer Boudreaux from Steel Magnolias, but like the fabric is just very like tacky and color blocky, and it's so gorgeous. And I don't think anyone else but Monet could have pulled this off. Like, it's so hideous and gorgeous. I love it. I can't say anything negative about it. Like, I hate that I love it, but I love it. You know what I mean? Like, it's that. Like, it's just like, oh. Next up, we have Miss Eureka O'Hara, and it's kind of funny because they said she looked like Carmen Sandiego if she was easier to find, and I actually feel this because she's got, like, this gorgeous houndstooth dress with arms attached and a cape and this gorgeous houndstooth hat. It's very monochromatic, which looks stunning. And then she's got red eyes, which I thought was a very interesting choice. The whole thing is very different and stunning. It's so fascinating. Like, I don't necessarily like... Houndstooth is one of those fabrics that's, like, really super tacky or really super interesting. And I feel like this one was really super interesting. Next up, we have Miss Aquaria giving you rabbit pulled out of a hat, realness. It's very interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit too much of Miss Courtneyac's Klaus Nomi inspired look from season 6. It's cute. I mean, there's not really a lot you can say about it. It's cute. It's very rabbit pulled out of a hat, but it's also just kind of like, yeah. Next up, we have Miss Monique Heart giving you every kind of holiday wrapping paper gorgeousness you could imagine. This dress is so fucking stunning, and she made it herself. But that hat, that is a say something hat, bitch, and it says, I am fucking fabulous. I don't know why. I love everything about that hat. It is so beautiful to me. And so stunning because it's just so different. And it almost looks like cellophane paper. It looks like cellophane with polka dots. It's just fucking stunning. Next up, we have Miss Asia O'Hara giving you dandelion realness. And this is a sickening look. I love that not only is her hat very much like just a bunch of dandelions stuck in her hair, but that she managed to get like a dandelion, like wand looking thing. So she is like the fairy queen of the dandelions. I live for this look. The only thing I will say The white eyeliner under her eyes in this, which is a holdover from the Maxi Challenge, I don't like as much. I don't feel like it's as well done. Next up, we have Miss Cracker giving you My Fair Lady realness with a twist. And bitch, this is sickening. So not only is she wearing a hat, she is wearing a hair hat, which is a hat made of hair, and it looks fucking stunning. This is really, like, I didn't realize at first, I thought it was a real fucking hat. I did not realize at first glance that that was hair. So I took a second picture so you guys could really get an appreciation that that's a fucking wig, girl, or probably a couple wigs. Like, that is so good. The body looks so snatched for the gods. It is so stunning. It's really a shame that her team did so poorly because that look was fucking cute. Next up, we had Miss Blair St. Clair in another very short, pretty outfit, pretty hat. It's very southern, girly girl, debutante. It's cute, but it's very basic. Like, it's very lacy and frilly and cute, and okay, that's great. That is her personality, and I respect that. It's not really giving it to me. Next up, we have the Vixen giving you Miss fucking, ooh, who is that giving me? This is giving me, the hat especially, is giving me all kinds of Alexis Carrington realness. And then the fact that her dress is made out of hats, I think is so fucking stunning. It looks gorgeous. Everything about it I love. This is so cute and so different. And bitch, she slayed me. Okay? Slayed me. So in the challenge, the judges were pretty clear. And it was decided that Cameron, Monet, and Eureka would be the top 3 queens, and Blair, Vixen, and Cracker would be the bottom 3 queens, leaving Aquaria, Monique, and Asia to be safe. And I think that's fair. They were really funny, but I don't think they were as a whole as good as Cameron, Monet, and Eureka. And surprisingly, Miss Eureka won the challenge for this episode yet again, so good on her. I definitely thought Monet probably should have won that one. But, you know, Eureka was very funny. I think she did very, very well in the challenge, so I have to give it up to her. Congratulations, girl. But that left the bottom 2 to be Miss Vixen and Miss Blair. So the lip sync song for this episode was I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross, the one and only. I don't know why I thought they had sung this before, but I think I was thinking of the one in season 8, which was I Will Survive, I believe, which is not the same. I don't know why in my head I confused the two. It seemed very obvious, to me at least, that Blair didn't quite know the words. Maybe I was mistaken, but the way the lip sync looked on my end, it seemed like she didn't really know the words. And the Vixen just seemed very, very clearly, you know, she was giving you full energy, she was giving you splits and twirls, and giving you the full thing. And I was like, okay, well, we all know who is going to win this one. And I was correct. The Vixen was declared the winner, and Miss Blair St. Clair was sent home. Yeah, that's it for this episode. I feel like this is going to be super fucking short, and I don't know what to do about that because not a lot happened. Like, the episode happened. There really wasn't a lot of drama. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a fan. No, give me a thumbs up. Comment down below. Tell me what you thought of this episode, what you're thinking of this season. Who are your favorites? Because honestly, I feel like every time I start to like someone, they go home. And considering that Miss Cracker was almost in the bottom, I was devastated by that possibility. So yeah. And please, please, please give me a subscribe. Become a fan. I absolutely love doing this. And yeah, can't wait to see what next episode is. I hope it's finally the Snatch Game. Shit, I've only been asking for that for the last 3 episodes. And of course I wasn't smart enough to stay till the end so I could see, like, next week on blah, blah, blah. My bad. Oh, this attacked me. My bad, y'all. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, stay shady.